this is the setup right here that added another 2.5 million in funding to my portfolio in literally just one single day. Okay. Now I'm really making this video to show you guys exactly what an A plus PO3 setup looks like, and what type of trade I'd actually be willing to do this on. Okay. I'm not just going to go monkey into 10 Apex accounts on any single one trade. Okay. There was a reason I did this. But yeah, it is one for you guys who maybe have passed a couple accounts, maybe you've gotten a few payouts and want to start stacking more capital and really going for those higher payouts of 20, 30K a month. I'm going to show you guys exactly the setups you need to look for to do that, because again, you can't just do that on any certain setup. And if you've had some skin in the game, maybe you don't want to take another 1, 2, 3 months to pass these accounts depending on market conditions. Also, this is for you who may have not gotten funded already, okay? Now, if you're not funded already, if you're not taking payouts, if you're not profitable, I don't really recommend that you try and pass an account in one trade, because you're probably going to get to the PA account and blow it. But this is more so if you're someone who's struggled with psychology and drawdown. I always think it's a good idea to wait for an A plus setup when you're starting a fresh new funded account. And this setup is going to be the absolute best way to do that, so you can start the account off on the right foot. And again, obviously for those of you guys who want to scale in and don't want to take months to do so, this is the play. Like I said, again, this is not something that's, super tricky to do at the end of the day. But Apex does have a trailing drawdown. But again, this is going to be kind of a full case study on this exact setup. Now, before we dive into it, just so you guys know, I'm not fucking around. And obviously, Apex accounts this costed me, 800 in activation fees and, 160 for eval fees. So practically nothing for 2.5 million funding. And then there's a screenshot of it, kind of closer to when we are about to hit our take profits. If you do want proof of the actual live trade I took, then you can click the first link in my bio. That will take you to a free trial of my VIP where you can actually watch me live trade this week if you wish to. Just go into the VIP signals channel. You'll go ahead and actually see when we called out this trade. But enough blabbering. Let's actually go over this entire trade. So just before we dive into kind of what the A plus looks like, I want to let you guys know, if you don't already, if you have been watching me for some time, you know what a PO3 is, you know what a 4-hour PO3 is, but maybe you don't. So essentially what we're doing is trading this 4-hour candle right here. Okay, now this 4-hour candle opens at 10 a.m. Eastern, which is this time right here. Okay, this is market open 30 minutes before, and this is when the new 4-hour candle opens. Okay, so when a new 4-hour candle opens, and this is a fractal concept, you will see an accumulation, that sideways movement building up liquidity. You will then see a manipulation into hopefully a 15-minute fair value gap. Sometimes it can be a 5, sometimes it can be an hourly. We like to see a 15-minute gap. But again, manipulate into a 15-minute gap, grabbing some internal liquidity, putting in the low of that 4-hour candle, and then you'll see your distribution and reversal back to the upside. Our confirmation being usually an IFEG or a change of state delivery. Okay, so again, if you already knew that, congrats. But let's go ahead and break down exactly why this was an A plus setup and things that you can look for. So first off, I want to start this video with a checklist, okay? Passing accounts. All right, so the first thing you want to have is an extremely, extremely clear bias, okay? If you do not have a clear bias, odds are you're not going to want to put 10 Apex accounts on the line, okay? So bias is absolutely, absolutely crucial to that. And with that comes, are you already in a high time frame buy or sell model, okay? Have you had something on literally the weekly chart that has told you that this is your bias, okay? So for example, we had weekly SMT as one of our main confirmations, which we can go ahead and hop on the weekly real quick and see that we swept out this previous week's low on NQ, and on ES we held it. Okay, so that is a massive confirmation for me that I'm going to be bullish that day. Okay, and you can see the rest follows, right? If I just work my way down, the daily is also telling me, obviously this is Friday, but we swept out that low. We were already seeing a reaction back to the upside at this point in time. Okay, one of our targets was also the previous day's high. But we can see we are clearly seeking upwards. All right, likewise, onto the 4 hour. Again, the 4 hour didn't give us much, but the hourly did. Okay, we can see the hourly candle before 10 a.m. Eastern. We got a clear push to the upside, breaking all of this structure. So again, this looks very bullish. This also is a high time frame smart money reversal with accumulation manipulation sweeping out a high time frame level, and then some clear distribution coming to us there. Okay, so again, everything bias wise was lining up. At this point we were there, so let's kind of go bar replay back to that point in time. So one, boom, extremely clear bias. Let's go on bar replay. 1430. Okay. 2. Need to see proper accumulation. All right. Now this wasn't the most tight range accumulation trade we've ever seen, but there definitely was clear accumulation. If we go onto the 5 minute, we can spot it pretty easily, right? Right when that opens, this is a clear range, okay? Clear range of candles for about 15 minutes here, right? Even before 10 a.m. we started to accumulate. Okay, so we know there's clearly liquidity built up. All right, now 3, 15 min FEG present. Okay, we need to see a 15-minute fair value gap present for a complete A+ setup here. Okay, and 4, little bonus here, make sure there is volume. Make sure there's like medium to high volume, okay? Like if we go and see, like this move already was like 700-800 ticks, okay? And if you go and watch a few of my videos, you know sometimes we wait for an hourly gap when we run that high, but in this scenario, we were able to just wait for a 15-minute, okay? So literally just going through this checklist here, you need to see all of that, okay? Now I'm gonna make one more here. The manipulation must be the low of the manipulation absolutely must be the low of that 4-hour candle. Okay, so you have all of these things. You are pretty much ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these real quick, and we'll kind of just run through this setup. So clear accumulation on the 5 minute. We're gonna get rid of this real quick. Bias is super clear, pushed up at market open as well. We have a 15-minute fair value gap that is right here. There is also one right here, and you'll see we actually end up respecting both of them. But point being, we tap into a 15-minute fair value gap. Let's go back to the 1 minute time frame. Okay, boom, we have our accumulation range. Boom, we tap into that. Okay, instant reaction. You want to see a pretty instant reaction off of these gaps, okay? You don't really want to see it fuck around too much in the gap, want to see it range a little bit, okay? Now, in this scenario, we had already kind of swept out a high and put in a 4-hour high, right? So maybe I'm not ready to enter just solely off of the 1 minute candle, okay? So this would be kind of sniping the bottom, but in this scenario, right, I am trying to fully pass 10 funded accounts. I'm trying to pass millions in funding. So what am I going to do? I'm going to wait for a little bit more confirmation here. So yes, we do get the 1 minute IFEG, but I go to the 5 minute and I see clearly, okay, we have a fair value gap on the 5 minute as well. So what am I going to do? I'm going to wait for the 5 minute gap to inverse, okay? And if we look, it really doesn't have much of a different risk to reward, okay? 288 ticks, we actually get a better risk to reward waiting for that 5-minute gap. So a lot of people worry about that. They're like, oh, I'm going to lose my RR. You're probably not. So back to the 1 minute time frame. Boom, we inverse that. That's where I go long. We can also see we're confirmed in a 1 minute market maker buy model because we had the first reaccumulation, manipulation into a gap, and then a push up. So that's exactly where my stop is going to lie. Again, target previous day's high, super, super high probability target. And really with these Apex accounts, again, I'm just going to let them ride to my limit order, okay? I don't really remember what my limit order was on this account, but I guess we'll see. So went through our checklist. We got everything. We have accumulation, manipulation that put in the 4-hour low, and a 5-minute IFVG. Boom, previous day's high hit. So on my normal accounts, on my already PA accounts, that's where I trimmed. Okay, we see another reaccumulation. And oh yeah, we're on the 5-minute. I thought it was on the 1 minute. So this right here is about where my limit order hit. So right after the 2 p.m. PO3 started to form, that was around my limit order. So closed it out on all of those accounts and ended up hitting all of my take profits. So again, like I said, this is not something that obviously this is not like, oh, I made 2.5 million in one day. I mean, yes, anyone can do that by purely just gambling. I did this in a very, very calculated manner, okay? I was holding on to these accounts for a decent amount of time, waiting for this perfect setup, okay? I didn't just waste it away on a CPI data release, okay? I didn't just take it on the first possible trade I saw because I'm itching to take a trade and itching to get these payouts. No, I waited for a calculated A+ setup, and I waited for everything on my checklist to be hit, and that is why I was able to execute this so perfectly. So again, this is both for people who want to get more aggressive and, you know, maybe you already have tons of funding, maybe you're already taking 5 figures and you just want to stack a ton more capital, then again, do this, wait for an A+ setup. If you're not funded already and you want to start getting funded and stop blowing accounts, the first trade on your account, wait for an A+ setup. It's going to help your psychology so much. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Just wanted to do a little case study breakdown of exactly how I did this. Again, if you do want to trade live with me, again, for completely free and actually learn this strategy, there's a full video course in there. Then just click the first link in my bio. If you're looking for more one-on-one sessions and something that you're very serious turning into a profitable trader, you want to make this your full-time thing, I do have a couple spots open in my mentorship. That's going to be the second link down below. And if you don't already, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram. I probably post the most free value out of any creator ever. I post every single day. I post like 2-minute videos. So go ahead and check those out if you haven't already. And yeah, see you guys in the live trading sessions this week.